Well, I have got here what seems to be the holy grail for some pedal collectors. This thing sells from anywhere to $350 to over $400, depending where you go. A good friend gave it to me, and I just wasn't using it. And actually, I never tried it out until today. And I was amazed by the versatility of this thing. And the sustain, the gain, all the tweaking you can do. It's just a great pedal. And later on in the video, I'm going to very non-professionally, but just improv noodling, let you hear how this thing sounds. I did not do the demo with me playing the guitar with the pedal off. Just didn't want to mess with that. But I found a really sweet sound, which was hard to dial back in again later. But I closely approximated what this thing was doing for me earlier in the day. Anyway, this is a great pedal. I highly recommend it. A friend of mine out of Canada, Elliot Friedman, who plays a lot like Allan Holdsworth, he sent me this pedal as a thank you gift. Excuse me. I was shocked. But I gladly accepted it because I know that at times in Allan Holdsworth's past, he was using this pedal as well as, I think, a TC Electronic volume boost. I may have to look into that pedal myself. Now, there is no port for 9-volt power supply. You simply take the back off and you put a battery in and you're good to go. The settings that I found seem to do miraculous things for me. Was I had the noise suppressor threshold turned all the way down, basically counterclockwise. I had the sustain to max. The gain was at 6. The decibels were at 8. And the kilohertz was probably about 0.9. I had the bandwidth set to what looks like 0.2. I haven't read the manual on this thing, so it's still kind of a mystery to me. And this distortion was on. What I've read about in forums about this pedal is that it can either kill your tone or you can find a sweet spot and it just does magical things. TC Electronic came out with sort of a copycat of this pedal many years later, but it was kind of a flop from what I hear. So if you're looking for real sustain and equalizing at the same time, this pedal really can do it. My dear wife was home, so I did not have the amp and my guitar volume cranked up to the max. I kept it kind of on the down low and still got some sounds that were great. 9-volt battery. When you plug your input in and your output in, the red light flashes. Doesn't flash, but it comes on to let you know it's working, and then it fades out. But that's not to be worried about. It's still doing the job even though the light is off. And the bypass is really a bypass. The clean signal coming through was definitely clean and not inhibited in any way. So this says external power, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can plug in power to this thing. I haven't tried yet because I was afraid to screw this pedal up. I will look later online for the specs on this thing and perhaps a manual. So later in the video we're going to take a listen, and probably what I am saying now might be repeated a little bit, but so's the case when you're trying to create a disjointed video. I am not a professional player, but I have been playing since 1967, and I just wanted to go through some simple sort of power chords and kind of a sort of a funked up kind of I don't know, shuffle or something. I don't know what I was playing, but you'll hear it later in the video. But believe me, this is one sweet pedal. I am not letting this go. Alright, get ready for the rest of the video. Codex here. I wanted to demo the sounds from the TC Electronic SUSTAIN Plus Parametric Equalizer. I've got sustain set all the way up, gain all the way up. The next function button is at 8, and the 8 decibels, I think, and the center button is set to around just shy of 1. Distortion is on. Bandwidth is set to 2, I believe. I just got this pedal from a good friend. Noise suppressor is set to I think right around 10 o'clock, and it is running through a PV Classic 30. I don't have the thing cranked all the way up. I am playing through a unique Strat copy, a Samick, and the pickups are humbuckers in single coils. I've got the toggle switch set to balance between the bridge and the middle pickup. Tones are about 7 or 8. Volume is really low, right around 2. So we'll see how this sounds. I'll be right back once I get the camera set up. everyone. You just got to see the Sustain Plus Parametric Equalizer by TC Electronic, what it'll do with a guitar. But what will it do with a keyboard? I've got the sustain set on 10, the gain on 4. I've got it on the decibels at 0, and the center, the kilohertz, I have it turned down to 0.05, and the threshold up just a little bit. So we've got a Waldorf Blofeld synthesizer. I've got it set to bank E 005 called Alt Vibes. So here's what it sounds like without the pedal engaged. All right, let's kick it up a notch. Let's kick it out. All right, let's crank it up with the pedal. Okay, turn off the pedal. What do you get? And I've got the volume set to, the master volume set to 60. The Behringer keyboard amp, it is set right at middle volume on everything, like 5. So this is what you get straight up synthesizer without a pedal. Kick in the vintage TC Electronic pedal. Totally different feel. Let's try something else here without the pedal. This is going to be really awesome. Just playing with the gain. Alright, we turn the pedal off. Okay, all I wanted to show you is this is a very versatile pedal. And yes, I update on what I said earlier in the video. I have seen people plugging in a 9-volt power supply. So yes, this will run on external power as well as the battery on the inside. Just very impressive. And also, I had the distortion turned off. Let's go back to that first alt vibe setting and turn the distortion up. See what we get. Okay, pedal is off. So you heard changes in the sound when I was altering the kilohertz. Let's try the decibels. More of a bass, fuller sound. So we'll go back to 0. Sustain is at 10. Let's try the gain back down. And then pedal off. Pedal on. So when you turn the gain back, it's sort of like you don't even have it hooked up. But cranking that gain up, you really hear the difference. And this is with distortion on. I'm going to try the bandwidth switch and see what we get. Not much. I'm going to mess with the noise suppressor. All the way up, not much difference. All the way down, not much difference. Okay, that's about all I have to say and show you about this pedal. My guess is you could run a drum machine through this. You could run any type of synthesizer through this. MIDI keyboard. And very likely, I was thinking about playing a bass through this, but I won't do that. Or my electric violin, and I won't do that. Because I am sure that this pedal will help. So I have not seen anyone talking about using this pedal with a keyboard, but a lot of people don't realize that effects pedals used for guitars and basses and whatnot, exciter pedals, chorusing pedals, sustain pedals, just whatever, you can use it with a keyboard. Alright, one last thing. I said earlier in the video I was going to try and find a manual for this. Impossible. All you can find are schematics for this and manuals for TC Electronics' later redo of this pedal. But for this pedal, this vintage pedal, somebody out there help me. Make a comment on the video, send me a link, because I cannot find a manual at all. I mean, people admit that the pedal's there, they acknowledge it, but as far as manuals, I haven't found one. I Googled up TC Electronics Sustain Plus Parametric Equalizer Manual. Zero. Nada. Got nothing. So that's all for now. And again, regular Waldorf Blofeld synthesizer through the TC Electronics pedal here into a Behringer keyboard amp, about a 12-inch speaker. And earlier in the video, it was through a PV Classic 30 tube amp with the guitar. But again, I recommend this pedal, and I'm glad I decided to hold on to it, even though I had thoughts for about a day or two of maybe selling this, because I just didn't see any use for it. But after messing around with it, it has a lot of uses. Listen to the difference. Get rid of the pedal. Pedal back in. Awesome. I bet you could run a good old Rhodes vintage keyboard through this and it would sound great. Alright, that's it for this video. I'm done. Any questions? Ask me in the comments. I'd be glad to help. Bye-bye.